Today we are going to learn about the API server, Express, browser, Postman, everything in a brief. Okay. First of all, we are going to learn about the the Express. What is an Express? Express simply is used to create servers. Simple as that. We can do this thing with the Node, but Node is using low level tools, so Express made that thing easy for us. Okay, we create the server using the Express. First point. Second point, what is that? What we have to understand. We have to, and let's say we are um, running this thing on the server is listening on port 30, sorry, 3000. Okay, what is the thing we have to understand? Let's say this is the browser, and slash postman. For instance, let's understand this thing. We have the server, we created the server, and it's listening on the port 3000. Okay, now what we have to do, we created an API, and like this we created an API. Let's suppose we app.get slash route request response app request dot send. Okay, we have created simply an API. And what we call an API, simply an API is the endpoint, and what's an it has an path defined. So this is the path. Let's understand this way, and what we are going to understand, we make a request. Okay, we make a request. This API, if we go to the, let's say, if we go to the local host port 3000, the server is running. Okay, the browser is acting as a client right now, and the server is running on the port 3000. Okay, if we go to the browser and go to the localhost port 3000, what's meant by that? On 3000, the locally, the API, the server is running, sorry, the server is listening. Okay, and when we send the request to the port, when we send the request to the server that is on the port 3000, it sends and responds hello world to the browser. And when you go to the localhost 3000, the request, you will get the hello world. So this is a simple way to understand the API, the server. And what's actually the server is simply a program that's running on a computer, used to take the request and sends the response. As simple as that. Okay, that's continuously, that's listening, and the server is running on a computer. And one most important thing is that without an API, you can't without a server, an API is nothing. Without an API, a server can run. One most important thing, we have to understand uh, about the API. What's an API? API is the endpoint of your program. Okay, so if we understand this thing like this is, let's say, understand this is a backend code. Okay, the logic, the everything is in the backend code. Okay, and this is the endpoint, and this is the endpoint of your backend code. Okay, this is the endpoint of your backend code, by which you can talk. Okay, you can talk. A server is used to communicate with the client, but what to talk is, within the API. We design the API, what the client, what we have to send to the client. So this is a small thing about the backend, about the browser, Postman. And one most important thing is, without the browser and the Postman thing, we are getting more features in Postman other than browser. The browser is limited features, but the Postman is designed for the developers to work with the API. Postman is not limited to the API. Postman is having many features. We'll talk about this thing in upcoming videos. We're going to use the Postman in the for the API thing and things around that.